Hey everybody, welcome to the Real United States and welcome to our Wednesday Q&A session where I try to answer questions that you send in every week. And so I want to thank everybody that's been nice enough to send in questions. I hope you're all enjoying this segment. Let us know by all means if you are, and continue please sending in your questions. I'm loving hearing from everybody. So I've got a relatively short list, but I'll probably talk too long again anyway. So let's jump right into it. Eusebio, 1957, my buddy Ettore over there in Germany, wrote, Hi Paul, why isn't there any intro music? Well, we had, for a number of months in season 1, used an introduction music and an intro screen animation. And it occurred to me after a while that it was sucking up valuable time. YouTube is not like television where you have opening credits and those sorts of things. The attention span of people on YouTube in general is relatively short. They want you to get to it right away, give them what you're going to give them, and move on. So we opted to do away with the intro slides and the intro music for most of what we do because we wanted to get to the point. So I don't think we'll be adding intro music back in anytime soon. Ettore also wanted to know, it would be nice if you could do a Q&A live broadcast, maybe once a week. We had considered this. We have done the research. We have gotten the equipment. Live broadcasting, Ettore, is tough. It is a lot of demands on the equipment, but there's a lot of demands on me. It's very stressful for me to try and do live broadcast. Now, I'm not saying I won't. At such time that we get a large enough audience that a live broadcast will be a viable thing, yeah, I will definitely consider doing it. It's not going to happen right away. And one of the problems is because our viewership is literally spread over every country that has internet access, so that leaves like 2 countries in the world that don't view our channel. So everybody's on a different time zone, 24 different time zones, and trying to find one that works for everybody is challenging too. So it is something I'm considering. I may do in the future, if there's enough interest. Right now I'm not planning on it, but we have done the legwork. We are prepared to do it at the time, that it seems right. So that's the best I can do for you at the moment. But thanks for writing in. I appreciate it. Okay, I'm going to kind of skip around here. Necho 2, I think I'm pronouncing that right. Necho and the Roman numeral 2. I was wondering if I'd consider doing some commentary vlogs on the War of 1812. Such sites as Bladensburg, Washington, North Point, and Baltimore. Necho, I know you're from Canada. I wanted to address this. This has been asked of me before about the War of 1812. I'm not a historian, and I do enjoy history, and I try to do some historical pieces. I know that there are differences in the way, historians write the history. And having grown up in the United States and gone to American schools and American University and had my history courses through there, obviously if I do this, it's going to have an American bent. It's going to be from the historians that are written here and have taught here. So I don't know if I'll do it justice. I'm not certain that I'm ready to do a documentary. We have considered doing documentary films, but certainly some of these places we will probably in time be covering. Now, when it comes to the War of 1812, my take on it is probably going to be concentrated on areas other than military maneuvers and actions. The things that interest me are the parts of life that affected those around the war. So, things like Dolly Madison having to flee the White House and the famous painting that she took down from the wall and took with her, those sorts of things that don't involve the military actions, but are how it affected the rank and file human beings, the regular people like you and I in life. So if I do get to any of these, that's what it will probably focus on, just so you know. And but I don't have anything on the schedule at current, but it's something, an idea that we will take to mind and put down and discuss on how we could approach it. So I appreciate you writing in the question. Thanks very much. Joel Ben, my buddy Joel. You saw Joel appear with me on here a few weeks ago, just prior to the Cherry Blossom Festival. He was nice enough to come up to visit. And he wants to know if we've met any fellow YouTubers up here. And he wants to know if we see any collaborations in the future. I haven't met any YouTubers here in the Washington, D.C. area, other than yourself when you were nice enough to come up. I have met some YouTubers back in Michigan. Jason Coomer, we ran into when we were doing Buy Michigan Now festival back in, I think it was last year. And that's kind of interesting because we are out in the public all of the time, and yet you don't run into that many people who go, hey, I've got a YouTube channel, let's get together, and those sorts of things. So I think it's kind of odd, but no, I haven't run into any other YouTubers, and I've asked, when people have expressed an interest in what we're doing, if they had a channel, and usually well, almost universally the answer has been no. I have looked around for meetups and those sorts of things, and have not been successful in finding any here in the DC area. They probably exist, and I've just missed them. Collaborations, I'm always open to the idea, certainly interested in it. Our schedule now that we're posting more often is become very, very busy, but I don't have any in the works. I have given it some thought over the last few weeks about what I could do for a collaboration, and haven't come up with anything definitive yet, but it's definitely something that's on our mind. We want to do more collaborations. I like those times when I've been able to work with other people, and they've been very, very willing to do nice things for us, and I'm hoping we can return the favor on some of their channels, so that would be cool. So thanks, Joel. And last questionnaire. I say because he's got a multiple part question here, and this comes from our friend Superman 21986. Superman, thanks for sending in your questions. I appreciate that. And this is going to take me a little while, folks. So first one, how did you and Beverly meet? Beverly and I met in college when we were quite young. Beverly was the president of the Academic Honors Society Phi Theta Kappa the year that I was inducted into Phi Theta Kappa. So that's how we met. We were taking philosophy. It was one of the humanities that we had both chosen to pursue. And that we actually met at the Phi Theta Kappa initiation, I guess you'd call it, when you're inducted. And that's how we got to know one another, was through the National Honor Society. And I just thought she was very cute and wanted to get to know her. So that was how we met, and how our relationship began. And so I will always have very fond place in my heart for Phi Theta Kappa. And we are both, incidentally, alumni members. Have you ever considered doing a route documentary, traveling through a famous route like 66 in a wheelhouse, interviewing locals? Yes, not Route 66, which is in the southwestern United States, but I think it's, I know I'm going to screw this up, folks, but I think it's Route 40 or something. There's like the oldest highway in America runs just north of us here somewhere. I think it's from Baltimore or something. And somebody had suggested that as a possible topic, and I think it'd be kind of cool, and certainly if we could cover part of it. So, yeah, I don't know, I don't know about interviewing the locals or not, but certainly if we could do some rolling footage and some stops and discussion about the route, that's something that we had discussed. And I'm still hoping to get to it. I haven't forgot about it. I don't remember who it was that asked me to do that in the first place, but it is on the list. And yes, folks, we really do have a physical list in the computer of potential future shoots. So that one's on the list, I know for sure. Now, when we'll get to it, if we'll get to it, all of these are subject to whatever the shooting schedule is. But this is something we would like to do. Third question: when will we see more diplomatic residencies? Tomorrow morning at 5 a.m. and Friday morning at 5 a.m. And so tomorrow morning we will be at the Italian Embassy here in Washington, D.C. And then Friday morning, we will air the episode from the Embassy of the Federal Republic of Germany, who also hosted the nation of France on the grounds of the German Embassy while we were there. Really, really nice event. Those are definitely in the works. They're already in the can, in the schedule. Those will be out tomorrow and Friday. We then have tentative plans to go back and at least, shoot the outside of some more of the chanceries, maybe talk about those briefly. I have been doing some research about other events than the one we've been to recently that allow people to come into the chancery and perhaps meet the dignitaries and whatnot. So it's something we're still researching, something we're still working on, but you got 2 coming up in the next couple of days, so woohoo. And fourth question wants to know if I would someday show an amusement park and then maybe recording yourself in a roller coaster using a GoPro. Yeah. Some of you, well, probably none of you know this. I don't know that I used to actually work for a major theme park, Universal Orlando in Orlando, Florida. And but that was before we actually started the YouTube channel. So yeah, certainly if we get to another theme park, I worked there for many years, and so theme parks kind of lost the special, appeal to me because it became, just part of my job. But I'm sure that at some point we will be at a theme park, Universal, Disney, Six Flags, who knows. And as for filming myself on a roller coaster with a GoPro, I'm up for it if the there isn't any sort of restrictions by the park against me having that sort of equipment with me. Obviously it's something I would have to lanyard to my body so it didn't go flying off, because those roller coasters, some of them generate upwards of 6 G's of force, and even hanging on to the littlest thing, it can just fly out of your hand. And I know this after having worked at a theme park, from having debris come down at me like a mortar shell. But yeah, sure, why not? I just don't. But it's not something that I'm going to put on the schedule for we're going to try and do it on this date. But certainly, no, I take that back. There is an amusement park of sorts here in the area that has one of those giant Ferris wheels, and I think it overlooks National Harbor. And Beverly and I have, I don't want to say planned, but we have said yes, this is something that we want to do, and that we're going to take camera along and film from the Ferris wheel. So that certainly will qualify for this particular question. While not a roller coaster, it is an amusement park that I think would be something to be kind of cool. So that's on the agenda. Beyond that, it's kind of still going to be a surprise. I really hope you guys are enjoying this Q&A section. Certainly would like to have you write in more questions. It gives give me fodder for what you'd like to hear about. Questions, obviously, that pertain to the theme of the channel about real life in the United States, I would especially appreciate. I'd like to, to focus on our mission. And anything else you want, of course, is up for grabs. I can always choose not to answer it, but feel free to ask it, anything you want. So that is about all I've got this week for our Q&A section. I really appreciate you joining me. Please, 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 if you got questions or comments, just want to say hi, whatever, leave them in the comment section below. I really do love hearing from all of you. It really is a pleasure to stay in touch with everybody. So yeah, just jump on down there. If you're new to the channel and you would like to come along for the adventure, please pick subscribe and join us. I love having new subscribers too. Again, always like to interact with our viewers around the world. And as always, thank you for watching.